this video we are going to learn how to make this cake flyer design in Canva. So let's jump right into Canva and do that now. Alright, welcome everybody. So we're going to start off by changing our background color. So we're going to come here, and this time we're going to use a particular hex code. We're going to come here, and right here I'm going to paste this. Okay, we have the FDFADB. Okay, this is the hex code and this is the background that we are going to be using for this design. So now that we have that, we're going to bring in our elements. We have our elements in our text here, so I'm going to drag this. Okay, then first let's drag in our logo, and we're just going to scale this one in and make sure it's small. Zoom in and make it more smaller. Okay, so now what we have our cake. Okay, I'm just going to drag this one. Okay, I'm just going to position it somewhere here, and what I can do now is to bring in our title. We have the T's, big and treat. Okay, I'm going to exit, Ctrl X, and I'm going to Ctrl V it here. Okay, I'm going to make it big. For our font, we are using the Neo Machina. Okay, I'm just going to break this one, and I'm going to position it somewhere here. And what I can do now is to bring this one, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. This is going to make this one smaller. Okay, and position it somewhere here. So what I can do now, I'm going to bring in rectangle. I'm going to hit arrow on my keyboard. I'm just going to come here, and now I can just round off the edge like this. And for the color, I'm going to use the default orange. Okay, and I'm going to scale it like this. Let's make this one a little bit smaller. I'm going to make a copy of this by holding down my Alt key and dragging it. Okay, it's going to make a copy. For this one, we're going to change the color to something deep brown, which is actually coming from the cake. Okay, I'm going to make a copy again and just make it smaller like this. Make it, yeah, I'm going to place it somewhere here. I'm going to select all of them and just drag it down a bit. Okay, now for this one, I'm going to pick the same color as this. We can use the can select this one, pick the color and paste it on this for us to be faster. Okay, what I can do now, I'm going to select both of them, just push it to the side and make this one a little bit wider. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is going to come to element, and we're going to come to frame. On that frame, I'm going to be using this. Okay, I'm going to make it small right here. Okay, what we can do now is to alt drag. Or before we alt drag, let's make some other settings here. So what I can do now, I'm going to alt drag this one, or let us bring in a shape because we want it to be square. Okay, so what I can do is to come back here and say shape, and we're going to bring in this. Okay, now I want to scale it down. If I hold it and be scaling it, it's going to look like this. But if I want it to be equal while scaling down, I'm going to hold down my control key, my shift key rather. Okay, and now I'm going to move it, hold down my shift key while scaling, so that I will maintain the squareness of the shape. Okay, the next thing, we're going to change the color here to white. White. We're going to reduce the opacity. Okay, and now what we have is this. So we're going to position this one, make sure that it's at the center of this one of the frame. Then we're going to hold down our shift and alt at the same time. Now it's going to scale from both ends. Okay, now that we have this, we're going to send it back using Control left bracket. Okay, now we're going to select both of them. Now we can alt drag to make duplicate. Okay, I can select this one, select all of them. Okay, and now we can alt drag both to make a copy, then alt drag one more time to make another copy. So now what we have is, so I'm just going to adjust this extra space to fill in. This way we're going to be dragging all our elements into. All right, so the next thing we're going to do now is to bring in another shape. Okay, this one we're going to duplicate it, we're going to auto drag it, and we're going to position it somewhere here so that it aligns with this one, and we're going to drag it so that it aligns with this one. We're going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, and now what we can do is to crop down like that. Maybe we can push it a little bit far. I don't think our text will get to that point, so we can send it to the back so it be behind this kick. Okay, I think our shape here is a little bit too longer this way. All right, we're almost done. So the next one we're going to do now is to add drop shadow to these two shapes. Okay, we're going to come to effect, we're going to come to effect, and we're going to come to drop shadow. For our drop shadow, we can make it a little bit, let's reduce the opacity. Okay, and we can increase the offset. We can make it more blur. Okay, what I can do, I'm going to copy this one. I'm just going to paste it, though it's going to change the color, but we can change the color back so that we can have the drop shadow, because it's going to be difficult for us to start dragging the drop shadow sliders one by one. So it's better I just change everything once, then change the color only. So what we have now is this. So we're going to go to our element tab, and I'm going to search for WhatsApp because we need the WhatsApp icon. Okay, so we're going to bring in this, and also we're going to search for Instagram, and we're going to bring in this too. So what we have now is both of this, and we'll scale them down and position them where they should be. We're going to select the first one. Instagram should be here, WhatsApp should be here. There's this little tiny text here. Oh, I've scaled my text down without knowing. Oh, let me just take it back. Let's select both of these and scale them down. Okay, we're going to change the color of this to white. Okay, so we can come here now and just say white, or we can change the color of the background. That'll be your choice. Okay, so now we have all these images. So what we can do next to select all, and just drag it into our design. In no special order, I'm just going to replace these frames, okay, with these kicks. I think okay, this one's duplicate. So now what we have is this. So we're going to work with our text now, since we have all our elements on our design. So we're going to come here now, our services and all this. I'm going to Control X. Then I'm going to come here, I'm going to Control V. For this one, we're going to use a different font. Okay, we're going to use something close to New Montville. Okay, and we're going to change the color to white. Okay, and we're going to make it flow, remove the boldness. So now let's remove this, our services, Control X. Let's come down and delete that space. So we're going to auto drag this so that we can use it for our services. We're going to flush it to the left. Now what we have is this. Let's add some bullet points in here for easy readability. Then for our CTA, okay, we have this order now, which we haven't done. Let's do that. Control X. So what we can do, we're going to bring in a shape. Let's come to element, let's close this, then let's go to shape, and let's bring this, okay, and I'm going to come here and just round it off. Okay, then we are good. We'll position it somewhere like this. For the color, I'm going to come here. I'm going to use the same default color. Let's make it like this. Let's all drag this, and I'm going to say order now. Control V. Okay, let's make it select all center line, and we're going to come here and just drag. Now what we have is this. So let's change the color to white. So we're going to add some drop shadow so we can lift it from this background. So what we can come to do is this, come to drop shadow and can position it any direction, can make it longer and just add some blur so that it lifts it from that one so they don't look alike. So now what we have left to do, let's use this, let's change this color to white. So now we don't end up losing its visibility. So now can I go and copy our text, Ctrl X, Ctrl V. Okay, this is the phone number for people to reach out to them when they see the design. So I'm going to auto drag this, and this time is the Instagram handle. Ctrl X, Ctrl V. Okay, now we're pretty cool. Then for this one, we're going to change the color to this default color too, and we're going to make it big. Let's pull this one a little bit downwards. Okay, then one last thing, this light is called light. In case you want it, and place it here so that you can see it. If you want it, you just need to search for light right here under element, and you're gonna see tons of it. Okay, we have different type of it. Okay, we have all these, you can use them for what I'm about to do. Okay, but make sure that the color is the same. For example, if I should pick something like this is white, for me to make the color to be the same, all I need to do is to come to edit, come to dual tone, scroll to dual tone. So you're looking at here, be looking at this part, you're going to see dual tone. Okay, now you have dual tone. So what I can do is to come to default, and they'll give me this option, this gray and the black color. So what I can do is to select the first one, use my color picker and pick the background color. Oh, that's not the background color. Pick the background color. Okay, go to the second one, pick the color picker and pick the background color. So this is what we want to do now. Let's bring this to the front. Okay, this is exactly what I want to do now. Are you seeing it? Just to give it some fade around the shape. Okay, but this one is having some other extra dots. I don't like that, so I'm going to use the first one I brought, and that is it. All right, one last thing that you can do to also up your design is to bring in a circle. Okay, I'm going to make this circle to be a gradient. Okay, I'm going to make it white. I'm going to select the other color, make it white. Then for this one, for this second one, we're going to drag the opacity to be 0. So now what we have is this. Now we can drag it across any text like this, and we can reduce the opacity. So first we're going to change the color again, because having it white when our background is a different color is not going to work. So what I can do now is to come to color again. This time I'm going to use the color picker to be color of the background, because that's what we want. Then for the second one too, we're going to do the same thing. And now our color has changed. So what we have now is this. select transparency and just bring it down a bit. Okay, now you see the effects. All right, so that's a technique that I can use. So I can drag this now, place it on top of this one, and I can scale it down. Okay, just place it on top of our design like this, and I can use my opacity. To bring it down. Okay, I can do something like this. Use my opacity again, just bring it down. And now what we have is this. It's not really working on our text, so we can only have one, and we can drag it down a bit. Okay, I don't think this is really working. Okay, I'm just gonna do it only this, then it can be this here, can be on that one. All right, I think we are cool. Let me do some adjustment here. All right, so that brings us to the end of the video. One last thing, change the colors here to white. Okay, all right, so that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you find it helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Do your assignment, okay, very important, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.